Oh my goodness. How many boxes are there gonna be? Well folks, I am at Twin Valley, the place that took out my knee last year. I'm sure that it won't be totally boring, and yeah, there will probably be at least some problems. Something is definitely not right. Well, fellas, I'm sorry for not filming it, but I just went out for an amazing ride with the Jet Ski Brothers. What's up, jet ski fans? Welcome to another Joel Arsenault YouTube video. In today's video, we are going to do the first fire up of the 1100 triple with the DC-CDI on it. As you guys will see, we ran into a few issues along the way, but nothing that we can't take care of. So let's get into it. It is now a week since I've filmed anything. I've actually been too busy with work to even film anything at work. I've carried the camera around with me all week, but haven't even turned it on once. I haven't done anything with the X2. The way you guys saw it in the last clip is the way that it is now. I was going to try to get it going this week, and I got a little bit frustrated or disheartened because, for those of you who don't remember, I purchased a lithium-ion battery from Amazon. It lasted a very short time and then went bad. They wouldn't give me any warranty for it whatsoever. It had 30-day warranty. I got this battery, which was basically the exact same one, but it has a different color and a different name on it. Looks exactly the same, but yeah, probably made in the same factory. Anyway, I got that from Royal Distributing. I noticed that it was a little bit swollen. I tried to charge it up, and then I noticed that it's actually completely split open. So it did the same thing the other one did. It has split open around the seam. All I do know is that it really sucks because I have a spot cut out for a battery of that size, and I don't know that a lead acid battery of that size is going to actually start my engine. I did send an email to Royal Distributing, and they passed it on to the warranty department. We'll see what they say when they get back. This is supposed to have a 1-year warranty. Anyway, that's where the story picks up. My battery is shot, and I've got the e-box kind of installed. I need to put some plug wires on and finish wiring up the starter button, the kill button, wire in the power. This is the power wire from the voltage regulator to charge the battery that is wrecked. Ordinarily, by this time of the year, I've already been out on the water, but it doesn't look like it's going to be probably for another couple of weeks because I am way too busy. So hopefully this weekend I can actually get this thing fired up. I'm going to do my best to get that done today, but I'm going to try not to stress out about it too much. I had planned on relocating my starter relay into the e-box, and now I've decided against that because I can't find a small enough one unless it's off of something like a pit bike, and I don't know if I trust them. I can't find an amp rating on them. So I've decided against that. I'm going to put the relay where I was running it last year, which means that I now have to reroute the wire to the starter because I had changed it so that it goes up in between the exhaust and the cylinder head. So now I need to run it back to the back of the jet ski again, which means either squishing my hand in between the exhaust and the engine or taking the exhaust off. So I'm going to be squishing my hand in there. That's a lot of fun. Also, I'm replacing the starter relay. I did a little bit of searching and found out, accidentally actually, I did some searching. I was looking for new relays, and I looked in my parts catalog and found that there are 200 amp versions, which this is, and 80 amp versions. So I think the one that I used last year that burnt out almost immediately was probably an 80 amp one, and that's why it burnt out. Okay, so now is it gonna fire? No fire. No fire whatsoever. All right, I gotta check some stuff. Oh my God, Joel. You don't know now. You don't know if you just fried your CDI. Okay. Okay. Is it gonna fire this time? Please, please, please work. We have fire. Okay, now I need to, I guess, get the fuel hooked up. I don't have a fuel tank in it right now. I'm gonna have to remove a bunch of this stuff to actually put the fuel tank in. I was gonna change a bunch of stuff about how I mount the fuel tank because I'm not very happy with it. But right now I just want to hear it start. So, pull some of this stuff off, get the tank in. All right, you guys remember to remind me that I in fact do not have clamps on my fuel lines. The final stages before the first fire up after installing Zealtronics, making a carbon fiber e-box, rebuilding and powder coating the engine, porting it, forgot about the porting, yeah, and breaking my knee. So let's get the e-box in and fire this thing up. I am also going to relocate my water filter for the exhaust water injection. And the reason for that, two reasons. One is it's just kind of unruly in the way where it is. It makes it harder to get the fuel cap off to fill my ski up. And also, I was concerned about how frequently it would get plugged up. I thought it was going to get plugged up all the time, so I put it somewhere where it was very visible. So every time I was putting gas in, I would look at the filter to see if it was getting plugged up. Well, it turns out I never had to clean it out a single time, so that is not a concern. Even when I was driving in water and getting my pump completely clogged up, the filter still did not have a bunch of stuff in it, so apparently that is not a concern. Quasar, get outside. Get outside. Get out. It's going to make noise. Look, it's going to make noise. It only primes into one cylinder, so it will only start on one at first. If it starts at all. Alright, key is on. Whoa! I wonder if Mark put any kind of a map in this at all. I'm not using an 1100 stator cover. I'm using a 750 stator cover. The fact that it backfired is worrisome. I bought this timing gun over a year ago, in March, I believe, of last year. And I haven't taken it out of the package yet. I bought it specifically for this project. I figured I would need it, and here I am. Do I not have a fly? I can't turn over without a flywheel. Why can't I see the flywheel? Oh, because it's a 750 stator cover on an 1100. Gotcha. I'm using a 750 timing cover, and in order to see the timing mark, I would have to be looking in directly from the front
because the 750 timing mark apparently is in a different spot. Maybe I should look at the 1100 cover and see if that's true. But anyway, if the fuel tank was out, I could see it, but then I couldn't run the engine. I just had a look at an 1100 stator cover, and the hole is directly in the top, meaning that you can look in and see the marks on the top of the flywheel. The 750 stator cover has the hole kind of off to the side, which means that I can't really see in there. I tried filming it with my phone, but it's really hard to see what's going on.
As you guys can see, it didn't just fire up. We're having a few issues. So in order to try to figure out what's going on, we're going to hook up a computer. I use a Mac, so I'm going to borrow Megan's PC, plug it in, and hope that we can find some sort of problem with the mapping or something like that.
And we'll see if the program does anything. It says, oh, wow, that was quick. Okay, read. Oh, there we go. Okay, that makes more sense. You actually have to look at stuff. Monitor. Test. Ignition test. Product not connected. Oh, the battery's not connected. All right, let's plug in the ECU. Okay, now the ECU is powered up, or it should be. Hey buddy, are you stuck on a thing? All sorts of things? It'd be nice if it gave you a countdown timer, but it just starts immediately. Test. Test ignition. All right, so it is firing 1, 2, 3. That is good news. Static angle is set to 48 degrees. Delay compensation, so obviously Mark has changed a bunch of stuff in here and set it up the way it's supposed to be set up. We've got it to run a couple of times very poorly, and then it stops very abruptly. It seems like the timing is way too advanced and it kicks back. But I can't really make any rhyme or reason of it. It just doesn't seem to make sense. So we're gonna keep struggling.
I didn't film a whole lot of the process, but BJ and I literally messed around with this thing all day. I have some service calls to do tomorrow, so I am going to come back to this, and I think I'm going to start digging into the wiring and make sure that everything is okay in there. I've already looked through everything at least 2 or 3 times, but there is a possibility that I missed something or did something wrong. So I will get into that tomorrow, and hopefully I find something, because this is getting us nowhere.
Well, it's Monday morning. I'm headed to my first service call of the week, first service call of the day. The weekend was supposed to be a relaxing time of playing around with my jet ski, installing the Zealtronics and firing it up for the first time. But that turned out to be a giant bust because, well, I had all of the problems with the electronics that I normally have with electronics. The programming, when I program the CDI with the computer, I read it and it says that the changes have gone into the CDI. Basically, the static timing is what I'm talking about specifically. I checked the timing with a timing light and it's way off. Like way off. Way off. And then I change the static timing in the computer and I check it again and it's in the exact same spot, regardless of where I set the static timing. So unless yeah, I don't know. Anyway, service calls. Let's do it. All right, folks, it is Monday evening. Done a long day of work, answered all my emails, finally went and got something to eat around 10 o'clock at night. It is currently 11:36. I decided to put the old C-Rat stator onto my engine with the Zealtronics. So the only thing I have plugged into the Zealtronics from the stator is actually the trigger coil. No battery charging, no exciter coils, just the two wires, literally just the two wires from the trigger coil going to the CDI. So I just hit the starter button with the timing light on, and the timing mark is lining up perfectly. So it looks like maybe a bad trigger coil or a bad connection somewhere before. It's working perfectly now. So I'm actually going to put the plugs in. I already told you guys the time. It's 11:37. So I'm going to put the plugs in and try to fire it up just for a brief second to see if it will start and if it sounds okay. Let's give it a fire. I am going to put on some hearing protection, and I'm also going to close the garage door. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, remember to leave a like on the video. And if you want to see more of this nonsense, be sure to subscribe. We got the X2 working in this video, and the plan is to take it out to the lake and actually give it its first test run in the next video. I took meticulous detail and attention while assembling this thing, and I am very certain that there are going to be no issues on my first test ride. That first test ride is going to be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Total failure.